Our verse today is from the book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 16. But Ruth replied, "Stop urging me to abandon you, for wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people shall be my people, and your God will be my God." The book of Ruth is an interesting story, and its placement immediately after the book of Judges offers the reader some relief. The book of Judges has developed the theme of Israel's increasing spiritual infidelity in the period before the monarchy. In contrast, the book of Ruth emphasizes the nature and presence of genuine spirituality and fidelity during the same period. It starts by describing the crisis in Naomi's family. Naomi was emptied of all her resources, food, home, and male support. Still, in the end, she experiences complete fulfillment with the birth of Obed, the father of Jesse and grandfather of King David. Naomi and her husband Elimelech went to the land of Moab in the company of their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, because there was famine in the land of Judah. See Ruth chapter 1, verses 1 to 2. The name Naomi means sweetness, but her life was far from sweet as she moved from sweetness to bitterness. She lost her husband and her two sons. She became a childless widow, and her only companions were her fellow widows and daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth. She encouraged them to return to their people. Orpah listened to her advice and returned, but Ruth, instead of leaving, professed an eternal loyalty and faithful commitment to her mother-in-law, and her oath of allegiance is what we have in our verse today. By this declaration, the author of this book presents Ruth as a model wife, an ideal friend, and an exemplary daughter-in-law. The words of Ruth in our verse are grouped into three parts. 1. A plea for Naomi not to try to change her mind. 2. A threefold declaration of commitment to Naomi, her people, and her God. And 3. A final oath invoking God as a witness to this pledge. With a great sense of self-sacrifice, she abandons every source of security that any person, let alone a poor widow, in that cultural context would have clung to. Her native homeland, her people, and close associates, even her gods. We see in Ruth a complete commitment and self-giving, even when there seemed to be no reason. It was risky for such a young woman to commit her life to a poor widow with no future and hope. This is a challenge to every married man and woman, and everyone in any form of relationship. There are so many fair weather friends, husbands and wives. Marriages are failing today. Relationships are breaking, and betrayal in friendship has become a way of life because people are not willing to accept the other person as they are and give themselves without reservations. This episode teaches us that 1. God writes on crooked lines. A childless widow, Naomi, became the great-grandmother of King David as God moved her story from emptiness to fullness. 2. Ruth was greatly rewarded for her self-sacrifice and faithfulness to the dead husband and his poor widowed mother. 3. The book of Ruth is a testimony to the blessing that comes to those who will live in a faithful covenant relationship with God, with their spouses and their friends. As you keep faith with your friends and spouses, may God change your story from emptiness to fullness, from bitterness to sweetness, and may He bless you with faithful friends who will stand by you in your afflictions. Amen. God bless you and have a great day.